Hi all, welcome to BIAS Academy. We are discussing chapter 1. Today's topic is consequences of ethics in life. So as we all know, all our actions have consequences, right? Good actions have good consequences, bad actions have bad consequences. Effect and cause. Okay, let us start with a quotation. Consideration for others is the basis of a good life and a good society. It is said by Confucius. He is a Chinese philosopher. I'll read the quotation again. Consideration for others is the basis of a good life and a good society. What does it mean? Being considerate, that is, being compassionate, having empathy, having sympathy for others in the society. You have brothers, sisters, fellow beings, known, unknown. So if you consider for the others, that will lead and be a basis for good life, and in turn it will be a good society. So wherever you can use this quote, try to memorize it and remember this. Confucius was, as I said, he was a Chinese philosopher, teacher, political theorist. He has a profound impact on East Asia. Right. So now the fundamental question: what is the consequence? Cause and effect. Consequences are outcome of our actions. If you read well, prepare well, the consequence might be you might end up as an IAS or IPS officer or a civil servant. Right? So similarly, every action has an outcome. The outcome of those actions are called consequences. Ethical actions have ethical reactions. Right? Okay. Let us see. The question is, what are the consequences of ethical behavior? Can you tell me some? So you have to be ethical on a daily basis from your childhood or whenever you had that enlightenment. If you practice these ethical principles daily, these values will be strengthened. If you see the child here, he might be 3 years or 5 years somewhere around. He's working hard. Tomorrow there's 100% guarantee that he might win Olympics medal in gymnastics. So these values like honesty, integrity, hard work, all will be enforced, reinforced and strengthened if you practice on a daily basis. As you go to gym, you become strong. Similarly, even the ethical values, you keep practicing on a daily basis. These values will be strengthened and in turn will have a good society. Next, feeling good. You feel good when you do good, normally, right? If you give money to poor people, you feel good. If you give clothing to the people, you feel good. If you distribute blankets in a cold place, you feel good. If you distribute water during summertime, you feel good. So these are all altruistic things. Fundamentally altruistic beings, when people who help others derive happiness. You feel good when you are ethical. These are other consequences. Next. Apart from that, there will be continuance of society. This is another consequence of ethical behavior. How? Because if the society is ethical, the society will be peaceful, loving, it will be harmonious, just, so that the next generations can enjoy and they will also become a disciplined and a civilized citizen. Okay. So consequences are at different levels. One is at individual level, society level and a national level. Let us look at the individual level. Consequences of ethical behavior impact the individual, right? Okay. For example, there is an individual who acts ethically. Does he think of himself or others as well? If a person is ethical, he will definitely think of others as well. People around him, his family around him, society around him. He will also think about the environment. He will not use plastic too much. He will not consume too much. So what benefits what are the consequences that this ethical individual will face or see? Number one, people will accept the goodness of that individual. Example, Abdul Kalam was accepted by society. Gandhiji was accepted by the society because of the good deeds. B.R. Ambedkar was accepted by the society. Mother Teresa was accepted by the society. People will accept the goodness if you are ethical. Okay. What happens at a family level? At a family level, this particular individual who is ethical will be respected. At a society level, society will also value you. Society will seek opinions and answers from you because you are a moral authority. You will get social respect. And then at the environmental level, ethical individuals will follow steps or activities to preserve the environment. If you see the child here, she is hugging the trees. So similar movement happened in India, that is Chipko movement, in Epico movement in Karnataka, Silent Valley movement in Kerala. What happened here? People who are ethical, they wanted to preserve the society, preserve the trees from cutting. So ethical people strive to protect the nature as well, right? Okay, now let us look at the consequences of ethical behavior that impact the society at large. Okay, what is society? What does society mean? Group of people living together in a more or less in an orderly fashion. Right. So we have seen what is a society. Society is a group or aggregate of people living together. Okay. So what is the impact on the society? Ethics helps person or society to be compassionate. There will be empathy, there will be sympathy, there will be compassion towards the weak, towards the old children or specially able people. For example, giving an elderly patient in pain a chance to visit the doctor. Or for example, somebody, there is a COVID patient next door, so you might bring ration for them, you might bring food for them, you can offer medicines for them, you might help them. Or classic example on a daily basis was giving lift to a specially abled person. If you see the image here, the nurse is helping old women. So these are the benefits which a society enjoys if people are ethical. Okay. Ethics also helps to society to function in a peaceful and an efficient manner. Example, we might see people might jump the red signal, right? It might lead to a lot of accidents. But if the society is ethical, they will not jump the red light. If you go to Goa, certain places, people follow traffic rules. It is so brilliant. Even they follow traffic rules even if there is no traffic cop. Next. Let us look at some more. Okay. Apart from that, ethics also teaches society to live peacefully. How to live in coexistence. If the society is ethical, people will be tolerant towards each other. Different religious groups of people can live together at one place with different ideologies. Different religions are respected. So it will be a peaceful society. An ethical person might be very close to the nature. It can help a person to be close to the nature and respect it. Like reduce the usage of plastic, dispose garbage. Do not throw wafers wherever on the street. So people might go walking to their offices, avoid transport to avoid pollution, or people might take bicycles or cycles and they switch off lights, fan off, AC when not in use. So all these things. So they'll be more eco-friendly. If you see the image here, it is eco-friendly. So ethics, apart from this, ethics has so many dimensions which will impact a society, person, individual. Imagine if why is Tata popular in India? The company Tata, because of the ethical principles. Why are some other companies not so popular as Tata? Okay, then there is a peculiar situation called Doctrine of Double Effect. Tomorrow you become an officer or you become an employee, you become a business owner, you will definitely face this situation. This situation is a situation where you will not be in a situation to take proper right decision. What does it mean? We are saying doctrine of effect. No, we are saying doctrine of double effect. That means there are two effects or three effects. If you do one action, there will be 2 to 3 effects. For example, COVID vaccine is developed. For developing COVID vaccine, the end result is human beings' lives are saved. They will be alive. But to develop that vaccine, a lot of testing has to be done on animals, organisms, microorganisms. So all these things has to go, because there is a bad consequence, there is a good consequence. When an action which leads to both good and bad consequence, that situation is called doctrine of double effect. Classical example, building a dam. If you build a dam, there might be a need to relocate the tribals. Tribals might be hundreds in number, whereas the beneficiaries of the dam might be lakhs in number. Irrigation, you can do irrigation, you can produce electricity. So this is also, it has good and bad consequence. Similarly, if you build a nuclear power plant, you might generate clean electricity, but if there is a disaster, there will be radiation, like Fukushima disaster. So single action which has different consequences, both good and bad consequences. This situation is called doctrine of double effect. So now what to do in this kind of situation? Then how you need to handle case studies or your real life situation, how to handle this? Let us see. Okay, in these situations, what intention of the purpose must be good. There must be a proportionately good reason or cause for performing the action in this first place. Okay, so let us say you want to build a new dam in the Western Ghats. So it has two consequences, good and bad. Now how will you take your decision? First check the effects of the action, the results of this action are good or bad. If they are good, go to the next one. Is the result immediate? If you build the dam, immediately will there be electricity produced? Will there be water available? Yes, then go ahead. Is the purpose of building this dam, what is the intention behind it? Is it good or bad? It is good. Next, and there must be a good reason for performing this action. The reason is to provide for the welfare of the people, right? So the reason is also good. Okay, example. For example, if doctor gives a drugs to a patient to relieve the symptoms, temporarily, if you go for a COVID treatment, temporarily your immunity might come down, but eventually you will be healthy, you will be alive, you will be coming out, you will be treated of the COVID and you will be living. So this is a similar situation here. So this is the doctrine of double effect. And if you are facing a similar situation, then you think of these 4 statements, right? And can you think of some more examples who face this situation, doctrine of double effect? Army soldiers, fighter pilots, tactile bombers, all these people. Okay, now let us look at a mains based question. What is the role of ethics in our society? Illustrate with examples. Illustrate means give more examples. The standard format is introduction, body and a conclusion. In the body, you write theories, examples, diagrams. So in an introduction, define ethics and society and mention the role of ethics in the society as well. So you write 7 to 8 points and then give more examples, your life examples, and then finally you conclude on a positive note. Right, with this we'll end today's lecture. Thank you for listening. Have a great day.